Hello viewers, and welcome back to another D&D Fuzzy Tale. My name is Amai, bringing you a story by Damien St. James, about a serious edgelord that feels way too comfortable killing children. And of course, when the party protects the kid, he decides to go and murder the entire town. Makes sense. Warning, this post has me doing some voices, so please bear with me. Anyway, let's begin. Let me set the scene. It was 2003 and the game was D&D 3.5. I was at the Job Corps with a group of players that I had formed months before. My center had this stupid rule about RPGs that only got ended after summer break. So I was ecstatic to be able to be running a group without fearing having my books taken away from me. If you're curious why RPGs were banned, it was because evidently in the early 90s people were using the polyhedron dice to gamble, and another DM had used the game as a way to socially engineer other people around him to manipulate to do things for him, IRL in exchange for in-game rewards. Wait a second, what did I just read? Is this for real? It took 6 long months of campaigning against my center director, but he finally caved. So now the cast. Most aren't important, but it goes like this. Me, the DM, a human paladin, dwarven fighter, elven cleric, lizard folk warlock, and of course edgelord playing a human rogue. I want you to think of the most brooding, both my parents are dead, the world is in pain and misery, dressed from eyeballs to toes in all black, speaking in a gruff whisper, and never has anything positive to say character. Black hair, black eyeshadow, grim tattoos, always huddled in some corner, and constantly
Beach.
about anything happening. I was running a homebrew campaign. It took place in a fictional Pangea-like world when there was only one single continent and a great dark castle at its center. The continent was broken into 9 kingdoms that spawned when the last true king died and the true crown was shattered. The party was on a mission, started by sharing a vision that they had all met up to restore the sundered true crown and end of the war of the 9 kingdoms by restoring the one true nation back to its glory. Simple, right? On the day in question, the party was on the road to recover the 7th piece of the crown. Apparently housed in a keep of a lord residing in the 7th kingdom, the party had arrived at a jolly and friendly forest town, population 500, to rest on the way to this keep only about 100 miles away from their current location. The town was quaint, good old friendly forest folk, always willing to share their food and lodgings to adventurers. Good music, good feelings. Think the plottings from the Dark Crystal. A very close-knit, trusting people. Our party arrived at the town's inn and settled in ordering some food and drink for the night. This place is wonderful! I love it here! Remind me after this is all said and done to open a church here. I think I would like to retire here. Dwarven fighter. Aye laddie, this place is bonny for sure. Nothing like me old mines, but I like it, you know, for people that live above ground. Elven cleric. They're all so peaceful. Blessed to be my goddess, that she has looked after this town and its people. It's refreshing not to find a town ravaged by war, plagues, famine, or death. Lizard folk warlock. You said it. My people live in a swamp. We eat bugs and catfish. I worship demons, and this place is the most welcome I have ever felt. People haven't judged me for my profession or race once since I've come here. Honestly, I could cry. This is amazing. And the edgelord. It's fine, I guess. If you're into shitty music, crappy beer, homely women, and even uglier men. Food that feels the need to include potatoes with every dish, and homes that probably haven't been cleaned this decade. Human paladin. Edgelord, these people have been nothing but kind to us. We aren't being asked to pay a single copper for any of this. Our rooms and board have been comped for us. What's with the attitude? Dwarven fighter. Too right. What's gotten in your britches, laddie? Honestly, you're more
Beach.
than a wounded mule. Elven cleric. You're really dampening my vibe. Lizard folk warlock. I literally make deals with demons, and even I don't spit in the face of free stuff. What the
Fudge.
Edgelord? Edgelord, the player, shuffles in his seat, folding his arms and crossing his legs to pantomime his character's posture. Edgelord. You wonder why it's free. It's garbage. This whole town isn't worth our time. The mission barely is. The beds probably have parasites living in them. This food is probably old and likely bland, since it appears these peasants have only discovered 3 spices to put in their food.
Beach.
Because I want to get this done. This mission is barely making me any money, and to be honest, I just want to get back to killing people. This is so boring. The players at this point begin to bicker with edgelord in character, and a little out of character. Since Edgelord couldn't portray anything other than what we figured his real-life attitude was, he seemed to behave exactly in the same manner. I decide, as I have done with every inn-stay, to roll my homebrew chart of random encounters. I roll a 23%. This means a small thieving child attempts to pickpocket one of the players. I roll to randomly see who is affected, and Edgelord draws the unlucky card. While the characters bicker with him, a young thieving child from the village decides to attempt to steal from Edgelord. Being a rogue, it's very difficult for a child to do this, and of course, child rolls low and fails to pickpocket. Edgelord rolls a very high on his spot check to notice the thief in action. This is where the poop starts to hit the fan. Edgelord, you little grunt! I'll teach you to steal from me! Edgelord demands initiative. At present, since the others at the table have only just noticed what's going on, hold their actions to see what's about to go down. Edgelord beats the thieving kid in initiative. Edgelord out of character. I'm gonna initiate a grapple for my first maneuver. Me, as a DM. Okay, you do have improved grapple, so no attack of opportunity. Edgelord rolls his attack, and succeeds by far. Me, you've succeeded. How do you grapple him? By the shirt? Neck? How are you holding him? Edgelord out of character. I take him by the wrist. Now that I got his wrist, I want to make an attack roll, after quickly drawing my dagger to slam it into his hand and pin it to the table. The players at the table visibly wince. Me, as a DM. Okay. I suppose that would count as a specialized attack roll. Roll it. Edgelord rolls a natural 20, and a sick grin crosses the player's face. I proceed to describe how he grabbed the poor preteen boy's hand and slammed his dagger from tip to crossguard through the boy's hand, pitting it to the wooden table like a tent stake. The boy screams, the music stops, and the party spits out their drinks onto the table and begin to jump in and take action. Each party member rolls initiative to join into the combat. Paladin and Warlock go first, Edgelord after that, and then everyone else. Human Paladin. Stop! The Paladin yells commandingly before storming over to attempt to restrain the Edgelord. Having a superior bonus to his rolls, he attempts a grapple check to grab the Edgelord. After contested rolls, he managed to grapple him. Lizardfolk Warlock. What the fudge are you doing? The Warlock conjures black tentacles from the ground to aid in the grappling of the rogue. These also succeed due to compounding penalties. Edgelord. Mind your own business, you grunts. The Edgelord attempts an escape artist check to escape all the grapples, and fails. Since he could use it as a move action, he decides to stab the child. The human paladin asks me, out of character, if he can use a little of what was left of his move action to step into the blade and take the attack. He said he'd allow it to be a hit and the sneak attack so long as the boy was safe from harm. I decided that seemed fair, but for the sake of doubt, I said for another contested pair of grapple checks to be rolled. Once more, Paladin comes out on top, and takes the dagger right to the heart. To speed things along, the others and many of the inn patrons dogpile on top of the Edgelord while the other patrons go to the child's rescue. They extract the dagger, and the elven cleric heals the boy's wound. When the chaos had died down, what city guards the town had demanded the party appear before the mayor immediately. They went, and an on-the-spot trial was held due to the nature of the attack. To shorten that down, the mayor heard testimony from Edgelord and everyone else. He said that while stealing was not okay, and the boy would have given a punishment for it, that the actions of the rogue were inexcusable. Since they didn't really have a jail, they said the party could be allowed to only stay the night since it was too late in the day now to travel the roads, and from on the whole party would be banished, so long as they associated with Edgelord. Edgelord just smiled out of character. He then rolled a bluff check, another nat 20, to assure the mayor that he was sorry. Made the sob story about being fatigued from months of travel and daunted by their task, and the thief just made him snap. The mayor bought it, but didn't remove his punishment. He said that the party would be escorted out of town, and their names added to the list of banned people. Edgelord seemed fine, in and out of character with this. When it was time for the characters to all go to bed, Edgelord stayed awake. Waiting till he knew everyone was asleep, he crept, succeeding in his massive move silently check to move about and ensure all were asleep. Once this was done, he began to make his way through town. He snuck into every house and slit the throat of every man, woman, and child in the whole town, then the guards, and finally the mayor. After that was done, he kidnapped the thieving child from his bed and dragged him outside of the town, where he proceeded to tie the boy to a tree, douse him in lamp oil, and burn him alive. He even produced sausages to roast over the burning boy's body, as he laughed with glee at what he had done. My players were epileptic. They were so utterly disgusted and appalled, both out of character and in character, when the characters awoke to find the carnage. But by then, the rogue had stolen their horses and ridden off into the countryside, taking the 6 pieces of the crown and all the gear with him, leaving them with nothing. The game died after that, and we booted Edgelord from the group. He bragged for weeks till he shipped out of the core about how he killed our game and ruined our fun. He really was a
Dong.
TLDR. During a stay at the inn, a thieving child decided to try to steal from the Edgelord rogue. The rogue reacted viciously and violently, attempting to murder the boy in full view of witnesses and party. Party stops him, and the party is brought before the mayor to answer for his crime. Party gets banned from ever returning to town, and as retaliation, the Edgelord kills the entire town's population in their sleep. He then murders the guards and the mayor. After that, he burns the boy alive at the stake before stealing the party's mounts and gear, as well as the major plot device of the game, and rides off to leave the party with nothing. Okay, so I'm pretty sure saying that this guy acting like a complete and total psychopath isn't too far off the line from what everyone else is thinking. What a weirdo. Anyway, leave your comments below, and remember to tune into more Fuzzy Tales if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Fuzzy Tale.